Good morning, everybody. In last lecture, we have started vitamins. In that, we have already learned about vitamin A, that is retinol. In this lecture, we will start with vitamin D. Okay, that is calciferol. Earlier, a German researcher discovered three forms of the vitamin D. That is vitamin D1, vitamin D2, and vitamin D3. Later on, it has been found that vitamin D1 is not any pure compound, but it is a mixture of argocalciferol and lumisterol. So the term vitamin D1 is no more used. Only the vitamin D2 and D3 are right now used and which are important for human being. Vitamin D2 is described as argocalciferol, while vitamin D3 is described as a cholecalciferol. This argocalciferol is synthesized in the plants and cholecalciferol is synthesized in the body of animal. With the help of sunlight, cholesterol present in the body of animal converted into the cholecalciferol, that is vitamin D3. Okay, so we will see the role of vitamin D. Vitamin D increases the absorption of calcium and phosphorus and deposits it on bone. Thus, it promotes growth of the bone, development of the bone, and maintenance of the bone. It also promotes the maturation of cells of heart, cells of the brain, and immunosystem also. We will see the sources of vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is considered as a non-essential because it is produced or synthesized in the our body only. Okay, so sunlight is the main source of vitamin D. Why? Because sunlight, with the help of sunlight or UV rays, cholesterol present in our body is get converted into the cholecalciferol, that is vitamin D3. Okay, it is also found in milk, in salmon fish, in shrimp, etc. Then we will see the deficiency symptoms of the vitamin D. Deficiency of vitamin D leads to the development of rickets in the children and osteomalacia in the adults. Also, the excess intake of vitamin D will develop toxicity in the human body, which will lead to the loss of calcium from the bone, and that calcium will get deposited into the soft tissue. Also, the loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, and psychological depression is the symptoms of excess intake of vitamin D. Then we will see the sources of vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is considered as a non-essential vitamin. Why? Because it is synthesized in our body only. So, the main source of vitamin D is the sunlight. Because with the help of sunlight or UV rays only, cholesterol present in our body get converted into the cholecalciferol, that is vitamin D3. It also found in the milk, in the salmon, in shrimps also. Then we will see the RDA or recommended intake of vitamin D. The recommended intake of vitamin D for the age group of 19 years to 50 years is 5 gram per day. Above 50 years to 70 years age, 10 microgram per day. And above 70 years, it is 15 microgram per day. Then we will see vitamin E, that is the tocopherol. Tocopherol is present in the four forms, that is alpha tocopherol, beta tocopherol, gamma tocopherol, and delta tocopherol. Out of these four forms of the tocopherol or vitamin E, only alpha tocopherol is considered to meet the requirements of human. Then we will see the role of the vitamin E. Vitamin E is a potent antioxidant. It protects polyunsaturated fats present in our body. It prevents damage to lungs. It also prevents damage of red blood cells and white blood cells. That is, it develops or that is, it helps to develop immunity. It also prevents damage of tissues of heart and it is necessary for normal nerve development. And generally, deficiencies of vitamin E occur due to the decreased absorption of fats. Sometimes deficiencies of vitamin E is due to the liver disease or sometimes because of low fat diets, which leads to the premature babies, fragile RBCs or hemolysis, loss of muscle coordination, decreased vision and abnormal immune functions also. And excess intake of vitamin E also lead to the development of the toxicity in our body. And this excess intake of vitamin E will lead to the increased effect of anticoagulants. Then we will see the recommended intake of the vitamin E. 15 milligram per day is the recommended intake of vitamin E. The sources of vitamin E. What are the sources of vitamin E? The main source is safflower oil, wheat germ, canola oil, sunflower seed, mayonnaise, etc. is a source of vitamin E. Also, almond is a great source of vitamin E. Then we will see the next vitamin, that is vitamin K. Vitamin K is referred as a phytonadiol. Vitamin K is produced by bacteria in large intestines. What is the role of the vitamin K? It promotes the synthesis of blood clotting proteins and bone proteins. Deficiency of these vitamins, vitamin K, it is considered as a non-essential vitamin because it is found in our body only. Deficiency of vitamin K is very rare, but sometimes seen in infants after prolonged therapy of the antibiotics and in patients with decreased bile production. Also, there are toxic symptoms of vitamin K. Main excess intake of vitamin K will lead to rupture of red blood cells and jaundice. Then we will see the recommended dietary intake. 19 microgram per day for the women and 120 microgram per day for the men is the recommended intake of vitamin K. Okay. Here we have completed fat soluble vitamins, that is vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. Then we will start water soluble vitamins. Before that, in next lecture we will see water soluble vitamins. Before that, we will see the differences between the fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. We will start the differences because it is classified on the basis of solubility only. Fat soluble vitamins are soluble in the fats, water soluble vitamins are soluble in the water. Absorption of fat soluble vitamin is in the lymph with via CM, while absorption of water soluble vitamins is directly into the blood. Transportation of vitamins. Now, fat soluble vitamins require carrier because it is soluble in fat only. While for the transportation of fat soluble vitamins, it requires carrier. While the transportation of water soluble vitamin is free, it freely circulate with the blood within the body. Okay, now storage. Water soluble vitamins are not stored in the body, while fat soluble vitamins are stored in fatty tissues or adipose tissues in the cells with fat. Okay, now we will see the about excretion. Water soluble vitamins, whatever excess water soluble vitamins present in our body is excreted through the urine, while fat soluble vitamins are stored in the cells with fat. Okay, now this is related with the toxicity. Water soluble vitamins never generate toxicity. Why? Because whatever excess water soluble vitamins present in our body get excreted through the urine, and they will not create any toxicity. While excess fat soluble vitamins are stored in our body, so they are more likely to produce toxicity in our body. So requirement is also related with this. Water soluble vitamins requires every 2-3 days because they are not stored in our body. Whatever excess are excreted. Okay, so whatever requirement we have to fulfill on daily basis. Okay, while in fat soluble vitamins it is stored in our body, so requirement will be every week. Okay, so these are the differences between water soluble vitamins and fat soluble vitamins. In next lecture, we will see the water soluble vitamins, that is vitamin B and vitamin C. Okay, thank you very much.